Hello everyone. Wish you all a peaceful and warm day. Welcome back to lytudiep channel. Do you feel happy when Jame, Diep and Beanie are happy? A peaceful life when their whole family reunites together. Baby Nee goes to school. There is also a dog Haki who starts looking for his mate. Today we see the autumn scene in this remote village and their peace. Do you want that? Diep woke up just as the sky was beginning to lighten. The soft morning sun filtered gently through the curtains, casting a golden hue across the small bedroom where little Nee slept peacefully beside her. Carefully, almost reverently, Diep rose from the bed and walked barefoot to the kitchen. Her steps were light, deliberate. She didn't need an alarm clock. Her heart woke her each day with the knowledge that she had someone to care for, someone who depended on her. As the rice simmered on the stove and the scent of warm broth filled the air, she heard the soft rustling from the room down the hall. James was awake, once a man who'd sleep until 8 a.m. He now rose at dawn, drawn by something far deeper than routine, drawn by love, by the gentle rhythm of a life he never thought he would choose. He had been a man of structure, discipline, and corporate precision. Everything about James used to be calculated, measured. But since meeting Diep and little Nee, something had shifted. He was no longer the man who calculated profit margins in his dreams. He was the man who now stood beside a rice cooker, pouring soy sauce into a dipping bowl, awkwardly tying pigtails, and asking, "Did Nee eat enough today?" Their life together wasn't flashy. It wasn't the life shown in glossy magazines or corporate brochures. It was better. It was real. After breakfast, they walked Nee to school, sometimes with James carrying her backpack and Diep holding her hand. On the way home, they'd stop by the market to pick up fresh vegetables, or go out to the field together to harvest melons and grapefruit from the farm James had helped Diep start. Each contract James drafted was no longer just business, it was for them, for their future. And each piece of fruit Diep sold at the roadside stand was filled with the silent pride of a mother building a home from her own two hands. Their small house buzzed with the quiet harmony of shared responsibility. James would repair a broken hinge while Diep prepared lunch. Nee would sit at the table, coloring her drawings, her small voice narrating make-believe stories to their dog. Haki, the ever-loyal mutt with one floppy ear and eyes that seemed to understand more than any adult ever could, had recently found a companion, Luna, a shy rescue dog with a soft coat and timid bark that melted hearts. Since Luna arrived, Haki no longer sat by the door in lonely silence. He had a partner to share his sunspots with, a reason to wag his tail more often. But not every day was peace and laughter. One afternoon, a message arrived. James's father, a proud, traditional man, had sent word asking Diep to go abroad on his behalf, so that he could return to Vietnam. But James understood immediately. His father wasn't offering help. He wanted to interfere, to end the life James had chosen. In his eyes, Diep was a woman with a past, a single mother, and that was unacceptable. He had always imagined his son marrying someone from a respectable family, someone with no attachments, no baggage. He didn't understand that Diep's so-called baggage was James's blessing. James stood firm. He told his father that he had already made his choice, that no matter how traditional or honorable the old man believed himself to be, he would never accept a life that meant abandoning the two people who had taught him the true meaning of love. Diep, ever composed, simply said she wouldn't leave. Her home was here now, with James, with Nee, with Haki and Luna. She didn't need approval, nor did she seek it. She only needed peace, and she had found it in this little house with a leaking roof and warm dinners. And so life moved forward. The seasons changed. Contracts were signed. Grapefruits ripened. Dinners were cooked, sometimes burned, and eaten with laughter. Nee learned to ride a bicycle. James learned how to braid hair. They took photos under cherry blossoms, celebrated birthdays with homemade cakes. and built a garden in the backyard where Haki and Luna now chased butterflies. One rainy afternoon, the three of them sat huddled beneath the roof overhang. James held Diep in his arms. Nee curled up beside her mother. And the two dogs lay at their feet, tails twitching in their dreams. Rain tapped gently on the tin roof above them. Even if the sky falls, James whispered into Diep's hair, we'll still have each other. She didn't say anything, just smiled. A smile that held more truth than 1,000 declarations of love. Their family was not built the way others might expect. There was no wedding ring. No grand announcement. Just a quiet, unshakable truth: they chose each other. Every day. James wasn't Nee's biological father. But in every way that mattered, he was hers. Diep was no longer alone. And even Haki, the old dog who had known loneliness, now had a companion for every moonlit night. Home was no longer a place, it was a feeling. It was the scent of rice cooking at dawn. The giggles of a child echoing through the house. The firm grip of a hand that wouldn't let go no matter what the world thought. This was a story not of fairy tale perfection, but of hard-earned joy. Of wounds healed not with magic, but with patience. Of people who had every reason to walk away, but stayed, because love, when real, demands nothing and gives everything. And so, in a quiet town under a changing sky, James, Diep, Nee, Haki, and Luna lived. Not perfectly, not without hardship, but beautifully, courageously, and together. A family not bound by blood, but by choice.